spend an hour and a half together. And today I am very happy to have Monk Daniel as our teaching monk. So he will sharing his knowledge on the meditation talk and then followed by guided meditation. So hopefully we all are ready. Okay. If we all are ready, may I invite everyone to pay respect to Monk Daniel by bowing 3 times. Bow, bow, and bow. And on this occasion, may I invite Monk Daniel to start the session, please.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the Mind Stories family all around the world. It's good to see everyone again. New Monday, new week. Hopefully your September is going well. We're at the end of the month before we go into October. So it's a good time to look back on this month. A lot of times in myself with meditation, it's hard to kind of see the progress if we just look in a couple of days. But if we look in a month and we look back at how was this whole month, if you compare it to last month, how can you maintain your mind? Is it easier? Do you feel more peaceful, or vice versa? Maybe it's a little bit more difficult. Maybe it's a little bit more chaotic. So today I wanted to kind of give us some tips on what to do to just remind you for daily meditation practice, that you can, put meditation into your life throughout the week, throughout the month, and throughout your whole year. Ideally, every day you can practice meditation, not just wait until, okay, it's Monday, it's time to join Mind Stories. Or even for some of us, we're not even going to join live. We'll join later when we're convenient. And we'll be watching the recording later, maybe on YouTube. So it's very important to, like I say very often, it's the hardest thing of meditation is consistency. And as you know, the method isn't that hard. It's just to be conscious and comfortable together. So we can use any method that helps you to have those two things. And other than that is what? Comfortable body, comfortable mind. That's all you need to focus on. Make your body comfortable, make your mind comfortable by using a method that helps you to feel conscious and comfortable. So this is all, there's no secret recipe other than this. This is the recipe. We gave you all the, there's no, hidden message or hidden technique that we haven't given you yet. So if you have a comfortable body, comfortable mind, and you feel conscious and comfortable together, then you're on the right track. The rest, the hardest part now is to keep meditating, keep taking the time to look after your mind, because that's actually one of the most important tasks. Or if you have like a list of tasks to do for the day, the first thing, we make it a habit, like when you wake up, we need to brush our teeth, maybe wash your face, maybe have a cup of coffee. For some of us, you can't miss your cup of coffee, you can't miss your tea or whatever it is. We have that routine that is embedded into us, and we feel strange if we don't do it, right? Like myself included. If I don't have coffee some days, I feel weird, and I try to actually minimize it so it's not as dependent on it anymore. Or you have to brush your teeth to keep it good, right? And these are habits that we keep in our daily routine. But the next step we should really do is make meditation one of those habits too, something that is second nature to you. And if you don't do it, you feel strange. If you don't take a shower for a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, you're starting to feel uncomfortable physically, and maybe you even start to smell, or you start to just feel like, oh man, I really need to go take a shower. If you take the time to look at your mind, it's the same thing, right? Look at your mind and see, hey, what is, if you practice more often, you're going to start to realize the difference between when your mind is cluttered and when your mind is peaceful and happy, right? Are you starting to notice that? Yeah, sometimes if you start to notice that, then it's a very good time we need to go and meditate. Good question. P, would you clarify what you mean by be conscious? Being conscious will result in my mind wandering. Being conscious means to be present, to be aware, to be mindful. So yes, if you're conscious of your thoughts, you're going to have wandering mind. But if you're conscious of being in the present and not focusing on your thoughts, meaning that you use the method, whether it's visualization or mantra, to keep you conscious, to keep you mindful, to keep you aware. So, many techniques we use, focusing on your breathing, focusing on imagining a light or something like that. These are all techniques to help you stay present on that image or on that mantra, rather than being conscious of what you're thinking or conscious of other thoughts that are distracting, sounds or anything like that. So that's being conscious, but being conscious in the wrong focus. Does that make sense? So we have to be conscious on what's helping us to stay present. So good question. So to get into today, there's some daily practices that we can do for meditators. And it's very important because Paul said that if we are smart in thinking, we will choose only the positive thoughts that honor ourselves. We can find happiness in our daily life. It all depends on what we choose to think. If you want to be worried, think worrying thoughts. If you want to be happy, think about happiness. No one forces us to think. We are alone with our own thought. To be sad or happy is up to our own thought. So, as you can see here, you may have heard the quote before, right? Happiness is not by chance, it's by choice. And you can choose. And it's kind of difficult in the beginning, right? Because you have something bad happen to you, you have something traumatic happen to you. It's very hard to choose to think happy. But as we practice meditation more, we can, again, learn how to be conscious and be aware and be mindful of the right thing, to focus in the right feeling. So if you focus on the bad, it's going to get worse. If you focus on the good, it's going to get better. If you stay with the bad emotion or the negative emotion, the longer you linger in the darkness, it's just going to get worse. But, just like in life, the sun, there's clouds, right? But if it's not going to, even though there's clouds, there's still brightness happening. We just don't see it because the clouds are covering the sun. And it's the same thing in our life. It's a circle. Nothing is going to be this permanent. So whether you feel good, whether you feel bad, is always changing. And it's key to kind of be able to let go and move on and focus on what we have, what is good, which we more often than we realize that we have more good around us than bad, but we like to focus on the one thing that is making our life difficult, rather than focusing on all the other things. For example, you lose someone you love, right? You lose your family member, you lose your mother, your father. This can be very, very difficult to overcome or to let go. But if we focus on the people who are still alive, that still love us and are around us, right? We have many people. And if we focus on the people who are still here, we can continue to live more happily than focusing on the one person that is gone. So this is something that takes practice, but it will get easier as you practice meditation because you're more in tune with how you're feeling quicker. So it's important because in life we have 5 senses, right? We have what we touch, what we smell, what we hear, what we taste, what we see. And most of the time, we don't really protect these 5 senses. We kind of just go through life and allow our mind to absorb everything. There's no shield. Think of it as, you go into That's a good way to put it. If you go into like if you have a computer and you have no firewall, you have no defense, or even if you go into like a battle, and imagine if you went into it is a battle actually. I would compare it to a battle. Every day you're bombarded with different thoughts, different emotions, negative, positive, whether it's from yourself, whether it's from the environment, whether it's from people. So it's very important to have some kind of shield or barrier or filter to help your mind stay positive, right? Because if you keep your mind positive, the rest of the things, the rest of the timeline here, your speech, your actions, your habit, your character, and your destiny, they all go back to your mind. So if your mind is positive, your speech is positive, your actions are positive, and your habits become positive, your character becomes positive, and your destiny becomes positive. So we talked about a long time ago, how can you control your destiny or can you change your destiny? Yes. By maintaining your mind positive, you can change or choose to make a better destiny starting from your mind. So we really need to take the time to how can we shield our five senses and look after our mind, because that is the root of what's sending to your mind, what's going to be coming into your mind is your five senses. So like I said, if you keep your mind positive, it's going to be attraction. It's going to attract positive people, positive situations, and positive outcome into your mind, into your life easier. But if it's the opposite, it's the same. If you're thinking negative all the time, if you're in a bad mood, of course, everything is kind of going to snowball and get worse and worse and worse. So what we need to do is be conscious, be mindful, be aware of what causes that mental clutter, what makes your mind feel sluggish, what makes your mind feel like overwhelmed, makes you feel uncomfortable, makes you feel stressed. And we need to learn to change that channel. Just like you're watching TV, you see something you don't enjoy, you can just change the channel to something you enjoy, that you want to watch, that you feel comfortable, that you feel relaxed. Same thing with your mind. So that's how we let go, right? If your mind can only focus on one thing at a time, but for some of us, we are very professional at thinking many things very fast, very quickly, switching. We're good at multitasking. But the one thing that's on our side is that our mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So if you're on the wrong channel, you're thinking bad, you're feeling bad, focusing on something that's not only hurting you and making you feel, down, the quicker you let go, the quicker you're going to recover and heal. Just like a wound, right? You have a scar or you got a fresh cut on you. If you clean it and put some medicine on it and leave it alone, it's going to heal. But if you keep touching it, you keep picking at it, you keep going back to it, rubbing it, scratching it, not only is it going to get worse, but it's not going to heal. The same thing is with your mind. So you need to change the channel really quickly and find something else to focus on that is calming, that is positive, which in meditation, what we do is we go back to the mantra, we go back to the visualization, or we go back to wherever we feel comfortable, where we can put our focus there instead. So the key thing is don't hold on to something that will continue to hurt you. Can you imagine, like, if you really hate this TV show and you just sit there and watch it for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, no one would do that. The moment you don't enjoy the show, or even if it's scary or something like that, you may mute it, you may change the channel right away. So you need to treat it the same way in your mind. Treat your mind the same way. So Luang Por said, the internal sun will arise when our mind is at a standstill. It will be like a bright object shining day and night. The ordinary sun shines half a day, and then it fades away. But when we attain the internal sun, our life will never be in darkness. Whatever incident we face, though we cannot change it as we wish, we can overcome it as we are connected with the happy sun inside. So this is both a metaphor and also something that actually is something we can experience in meditation, is the brightness of your mind. When you keep your mind calm and relaxed and comfortable, you become still. And just like in a day, it can't stay dark forever. Eventually, the sun is going to rise, and that's the same thing with your mind. Once your mind becomes comfortable, becomes relaxed, you're going to see and feel your mind in a different state, similar to the sun. Similar but different. As Lumpal said, that the normal sun, there's time for it to go away as well. There's sunrise and there's sunset, right? But if your mind is clear and bright and you've practiced it consistently, that brightness can stay with you and give you the energy, give you the brightness, give you the positivity to overcome any obstacle, and also to stay happy. So we really need to make a habit to, before you do anything, take the time to find your inner smile and find your inner sun. Light yourself before you go out and do anything. Keep yourself lit. And that's going back to being consistent, right? If you find yourself burnt out, which we may feel that way on Monday, and we may feel that way maybe tomorrow, the next day, we all get a moment where we get burnt out. But the moment you feel burnt out, no problem. Just light yourself again. We know how to meditate. Just sit down, relax, and before you know it, you're going to feel that light. You're going to light yourself again and feel that happiness again. And that's going to be the source of energy that's going to help you to get back on track. I just realized I haven't got to the tips yet. First tip is change the channel. But maybe after the meditation, we can continue. But I'll give you one tip before we meditate. But I'm sure most of us already do this one. But in case anyone new is here, the first tip is wake up and take a minute. So starting your day, reflect on how lucky we are to be alive another day. Instead of waking up and smashing the alarm clock or pressing pause or, rushing to go get ready. Oh my God, I'm late or something like that. Take a moment to reflect. Just a moment is enough. A minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it will go a long way. Instead of starting your day in a rush, starting your day negative feeling, like, oh man, it's Monday again. I have to go to work. I have to go, something like that. Or for kids, right? Wake up, oh, it's time to go to school again. So you're starting your day with, oh, you're not starting your day with, this is good, I'm alive. So take a time to reflect on how lucky you are to be alive. Unfortunately, there's many tragic and horrible events happening in the world right now, and many people don't even have that opportunity. But we do. So be grateful and happy and spread that love and happiness to everyone you love and all humankind. Just think about it, and it'll help you to start your day positive. And we'll continue after the meditation. Okay, so let's take the time to relight our inner sun and find that inner brightness within you, which we all have. It's waiting for you. It's just maybe some of us are a little bit tired, a little bit burnt out, and it's no problem. It's easy to find it again. So before we start, let's take the time to adjust our body. And if you need to go to the bathroom or prepare yourself, please feel free to do so now. So like always, let's take the time to start correctly. No matter how often we meditate, or even if this is our first time. Luckily, for those of us who it's our first time, it's a good opportunity to start correctly. And for those of us who have been meditating often, we should always treat every meditation like it's our first time. Going over the basics, making sure that we have the right foundation in order to build a smooth and easy meditation. So we always need to take the time to adjust our body, finding a position that is comfortable, relaxing, whether we're sitting on the floor or wherever we are. Some days we may be more tired, we may be sore. So take the time right now to find the position that works for you today, right now. And once you feel comfortable, you may slowly and gently close your eyes. Closing our eyes softly, gently, naturally, as if we're about to go to sleep. And simply forget about them. Because for the rest of the meditation, we don't need our eyes. We only need to use our feeling of relaxation and comfort. And then we can continue to relax and release every single part of our body. Relaxing and releasing from our face, allowing our eyebrows to relax, our eyes, relaxing our shoulders, arms, hands, relaxing our back, our legs, all the way down to our feet. Taking the time to loosen, to release. And just to make sure that we're completely relaxed, we can take a deep breath, breathing in deeply and exhaling slowly. As we breathe in, try to put our attention softly and gently on your breath, feeling your breath enter your body, entering your lungs, filling us with relaxation, allowing that relaxation to spread out to every corner of your body, soothing and relaxing every muscle, and as we exhale, allowing all the tension, any tightness to melt away, to fade away, to leave, leaving us with only relaxation and comfort. The more we relax, the more we release, gradually our body will begin to fade because we're beginning to let go. Our meditation has already started. The moment we took the time to relax physically, our process of letting go has already begun. This is the power of simply relaxing. Now all we need to do is follow that relaxation. Follow the comfort that we feel. This comfort and relaxation will be the key to unlock our chains, to free us from all our attachments, free us from any stress, from any worry. Because luckily for us, our mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So instead of focusing on the past or reaching for the future, let's bring our focus to where we feel comfortable, in the present, allowing ourselves to open the gift of being present. We can use whatever method that we enjoy, that we're familiar with, that helps you to stay conscious and comfortable together, hand in hand. Whether it's to visualize any image we choose, we can imagine it any way we like, however we like, and wherever we like. Because the key is to be relaxed. Even though the image isn't clear, it's completely normal. We're not using our eyes to see. We're using our mind. And in order for our mind to see clearly, it needs to become still. In order for your mind to become still, we need to be comfortable. So as we visualize the image relaxingly, whether it's the moon, the sun, an ice cube. The more we relax, the more we stay conscious with that image. It may disappear. We just imagine it again. Before we know it, the image will get clearer by itself. Just like a lake. When the water is still, when the water is calm, we'll be able to see the reflection clearly. You'll be able to see what's inside. Or for some of us, it may be easier to just repeat the mantra softly and gently in your mind. Samma araham. Samma araham. Allow the mantra to be like a lullaby, soothing your mind, calming your mind, allowing your mind to come back, to be in the present. Whatever method we choose, the end goal is the same. To be able to let go, to do nothing, to just be still. Like we're sitting on the beach, staring into the horizon, enjoying the view, not thinking about anything, not doing anything, just relaxing. Eventually we'll get to that point, whether we use the visualization, we use the mantra. They're just tools to get you to the stillness. Once we feel that stillness for yourself, there's nothing else we need to do. We can let go of the mantra and the visualization and just enjoy that moment of stillness. If that stillness disappears, we can just go back to using the visualization and the mantra again. The key to meditation is finding that balance where you feel conscious and comfortable consistently. The longer you maintain those two feelings together, you will feel your comfort or your relaxation continuing to grow, to increase. That's how we know we feel conscious and comfortable together correctly, because we'll begin to feel more relaxed, more calm, as long as we stay content. But at any moment where we feel that we are not in balance, because many people, they ask, how do we know we feel conscious and comfortable together? The answer is, you won't have any obstacles. When you feel conscious and comfortable together, and maintain that feeling, we will feel content, we will feel relaxed, or sometimes we'll just feel neutral. This means we're on the right path. But at any moment where we feel that our mind is wandering, we find ourselves sleepy or tense, that's how we know that we're not conscious and comfortable. We're not in balance anymore. One or the other is too much. If we're too conscious, we're using too much effort. We'll begin to feel tense. If we're using too much comfort, we'll begin to feel our mind wandering, drifting, feel ourselves being sleepy. But that's no problem. The sooner you realize, the easier it is to solve. By simply adjusting accordingly. If we feel too comfortable to the point of where our mind is wandering or we feel sleepy, we just add some more consciousness, more mindfulness by using the mantra and the visualization again, helping us to come back into balance. Or if we feel too tense, we can just relax. Don't do anything. Or if that doesn't work, we can slowly and gently open our eyes. And when we feel comfortable again, we can close our eyes and continue. But for those of us who feel that our relaxation is growing, just follow that feeling of comfort. That comfort will take you to the happiness And that happiness will take you to the inner experiences. But the most important thing is we have that foundation of relaxation. The stronger that foundation, the bigger it is, the more happiness we can receive. A happiness that we've never felt before. A true happiness that is pure, that can only come from a mind that is still and calm. So for now, let's continue to meditate together, enjoying our comfort in silence. Oh, why do I feel so Samma Araham. Samma Araham. The more calm our mind becomes, the more positive energy we collect. The more we let go, the more we relax, the sooner our mind will become still. The moment our mind stops, even for a second, is a miracle. It's a miracle moment that we can collect. Now we've taken the time to collect those moments. Gradually, every moment that we collect, where our mind is still, free from any thoughts. It's a mind that is free from any negativity, and instead, it's filled with positivity, with purity, this peace energy that we feel growing within us. It's like our internal sun, our inner peace sun, our own inner brightness that we can feel growing, expanding, making us feel comfort, making us feel relaxed. As this energy grows within us, allow it to expand. Allow that energy to grow. Allow it to spread to every part of your body, relaxing, soothing, healing, relaxing, soothing, healing. Making every part of us feel more clean, more pure, more positive. As we've taken the time to fill our mind with happiness, with peacefulness, giving no room for any negativity at all. So now that we're like a glass that is full or overflowing, now we can share and pour that positivity to others. So take a moment to spread our positivity, our love and kindness, starting from yourself, wishing for yourself to be healthy, to be happy, to be able to maintain this feeling or be able to connect to this feeling quickly and easily. Wishing for you have the strength and the clarity of mind to overcome any obstacle, any difficulties. Continuing to wish for your loved ones, your family, wishing for them to have a share of this positive energy, almost as if we can transfer it to them. By simply imagining their face, their name, whatever is easy for you. And wishing them well. Now that your mind is at ease, now that your mind is calm, is a powerful state of mind. What we think, what we spread, what we wish, it can all come true easier and quicker. So continue to spread out to your friends, and spread out to everyone, wishing for everyone in the world, even though we may not know them, wishing for every being, wishing for them to be free from suffering, both physical and mental. And for those who are already happy, may their happiness continue to increase. Every time you practice to wish like this, even though it's just a wish, it's helping to make our mind more loving, more compassionate, more understanding, more forgiving. As we practice doing this every session, our mind will become more bright, more positive. As we change the way we think, we will begin to change the way we speak, the way we act, not only to ourselves, but to everyone around us. And once we spread our love and kindness, we can come back to ourselves gradually, going back to where we feel comfortable and continuing to relax and release and stay still for a moment. เพพุทธาพลปัตตาปัจเจกนังจะยังพลังอรหันตานาเตชิระคังปันธามิสัพพโสสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสัทธาโสธีภวันตุเต By the power of the positivity generated within us by taking the time to meditate, may that positivity bless our life to be clear, to be bright in every way. And when we are ready, we may slowly and gently open your eyes. As we're waiting for everyone to come back, I would like to pass the microphone back to our lovely moderator, Dr. Pam.
Thank you so much to Monk Daniel for a very beautiful guided meditation. Really enjoy the meditation guidance, and while sharing loving kindness, I believe everyone can feel the positive energy spread out to everyone and to the world. And I would like to invite you all here to take a group photo together. So feel free to turn on your cameras and your sharing your lovely smile to everyone here. And maybe our friends who are watching later, so they can see our lovely smile. So keep smiling. Be happy. Big smile. I believe the photo has been taken, and thank you everyone for joining. Next, we're gonna move on the Q&A session. So if you have any questions or you would like to share any meditation experience, feel free to type in the chat box so Monk Daniel can providing advice accordingly. And may I transition back to Monk Daniel, please.
Yes, and hopefully everyone's meditation was relaxing. I had some time to reconnect with that inner brightness within you, or maybe feel it. Some of us maybe be able to even see a glimpse of your mind that is calm and relaxed. So if you could please give me an initial feeling from 1 to 5, how you felt. And also, if you would like to type it out, that would be wonderful as well. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Or if you have any comments about anything, about your meditation or about the beginning of the session, if you have any questions, like from who was it who asked? From Beng, who asked about being conscious. That's a very good question. As we're waiting, if for those questions, we can go back to those tips. So, first tip, right? Waking up. Start your day on a positive note rather than starting your day on a maybe frustrated or maybe tired, or, you know, it's kind of random depending on, or maybe not random. We kind of start our day depending on how we ended it. So it's, as if you fall asleep on a negative note, if you wake up, it's usually it can continue. So this good thing is trying to do this tip when you wake up, take a moment to reflect on how lucky you are to be alive, and just stay and meditate for a moment. 1 minute, 2 minutes, it will start your day a lot smoother. And as we talked about in the beginning, if your mind is more calm or relaxed, it's going to help you to run into more calm and relaxed situations. Or even though you're going to run into some negative people, negative environment, you have a filter, you have a shield, you have more positive state to deal with those people, to deal with those situations. But if you start your day in a rush, start in a hurry without taking the time to meditate, you're going into those situations unarmed and not prepared. The other tip is, in every activity, try to be conscious and comfortable. Use the image, a mantra, or try to center yourself as you're doing those activities. This is something, it takes practice. It's not, every day you're going to be able to do it together. But it's like, as you practice more consistently, it's easier to be more conscious of how you're feeling. So when we meditate, it's easy to kind of feel that balance. If you're comfortable, if I'm too comfortable, I'm going to fall asleep. If I'm too conscious, I'm going to feel tense and uncomfortable in our meditation. And we just adjust, right? We always say, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel conscious, just adjust to be back in balance. We do the same thing outside of the meditation. Lampal, my master, would always say that, see this room? Imagine this room has no walls, and continue to practice the same way. Don't keep the meditation practice in this room or in this Zoom or in this meeting right now. You can continue to practice it after the meeting or after this session. You don't need to just practice now. And it takes a little bit of practice, but we carry over the same method you use when you meditate. So as you're working, if you have a moment to center yourself, before you have a client, before you take the next call, before you have the next meeting, you can take a moment to center yourself. Take a deep breath, relax. If you can center yourself and do nothing, that's great. If it's hard to do that, then use the mantra, use the visualization to help calm you down. 1 minute will go a long way. Think of yourself like, people think, oh, how can a minute help me? If you're running for, let's say, a long time, let's say you ran for like a mile, 2 miles, and you stop for a second to breathe, to take a rest, would you feel good? Yeah, you would feel better. You would feel relief instantly. Or if you're, doing anything, exercise, if you were constantly doing push-ups and then you had a moment to stop, I think you would feel great. Your mind is the same thing. Even 1 minute, even 1 second where your mind can take a breather, it's gonna help. So don't overlook just 1 second, 1 minute between whatever you're doing. And if you can get even more deep, is do your activity and use the mantra at the same time, or use the visualization at the same time. That takes practice, but my suggestion is start from the moments of where you don't have to do 2 things at once. Do one. Start from the moments of where you're free. So, replace those moments of when you're looking at the phone, checking your phone. Take a moment to visualize. Take a moment to use the mantra. Take a moment to center yourself instead. And that's going to help to recharge, reconnect with the feeling that many of us got today. Like many of us have some 5s, some 4s, some 3s. Everyone meditated very well today. So if you want to keep that feeling, just connect to it often. The other one is very similar to the first one, is before you go to sleep, have a moment of reflection. Try to think of all the positive things you have done today and sleep in a bed of positivity. Sleep in that feeling of positivity. Or if you can't think of anything positive you did today, okay, no problem. Think of something in the past that I'm sure you've all done something that you feel proud of, that you feel happy, that, you helped someone, or you looked after, did something that helped someone else. And those moments are very powerful and help you feel proud of yourself and happy about what you did. And if you think of those positive things, again, if you think of something good, it's going to get better. It's going to attract that positive energy. And if you sleep on a positive note, you wake up on a positive note. You're going to sleep soundly, deeper, and you're going to feel more recharged in the morning. Tip number 4 is smiling and endearing speech. So these small actions can make a big difference, whether it's the first tip, the second tip, the third tip. Smiling and endearing speech, these are some homeworks we did in the past, but just to remind yourself to keep doing it because it helps you to stay positive. Because before you say anything, right, if you're going to have endearing speech, it has to come from within you first, right? So if you want to say something nice to someone or to someone, even to just say something nice to yourself or to anyone else, it has to come from within you first. You have to think it first. And the first person to think it, the first person to hear it is you. So you're actually benefiting yourself right away. The moment you think to say something good, the moment you say it out is you feel good, you feel positive. And the more you do it, the more benefit you're going to get to yourself. Not only to yourself, but of course, you're making others feel good. So that vibration or that ripple effect is going to, what you send out is going to come back to you too. So not only do you benefit, but in the immediately, but also in the long run, because you're sending out those positive vibes to not only yourself, but to the people around you. So again, those small actions, just a small compliment will make a big difference. And the same thing with smiling. This one can be a little bit difficult, especially if you're feeling down, but that's something to help you to reflect on yourself. If you can't smile to yourself, you can't smile to others, that's a good indicator that you need to go and meditate. So go meditate and find your smile first, find your happiness first, and you're going to find it's easier to smile, not only to yourself, but to everything around you. And not just smile to people, you can smile to everything. Smile to the sun, smile to your, be grateful for whatever you're looking at. Oh, I'm so happy I have this cloth because I can clean my glasses. Smile to my cloth. Oh, smile to my glasses. I'm glad I have glasses. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to see clearly, right? You can smile. If you do that, oh, you stub your toe. Oh, you smile instead of cursing or being upset. This will happen naturally if you practice these tips because you change the way you think. Change the way you think to be more positive. So even though you come across a bad situation, like just a second ago, normally when we like stub our toe, our initial reaction is to be frustrated, to not only at ourselves, oh, I'm so this and that. Why am I so clumsy or something like that? If you practice smiling, you're going to start to think differently and act differently. Give it a try. Instead of next time you'll be, oh, I dropped something, no problem. I'll be better next time. Okay, I think we have some questions. Or some comments. From Pam. Very relaxed, very sabai at one point. I felt deep and quiet state of mind. I felt the light inside when sharing love and kindness. I felt so nice. My body expanded, enlarged unlimitedly. Thank you very much, Lampi Daniel Satu. Yes, very good. This is a good example. If you can get to that state of where your mind is quiet, where your mind is relaxed, you will begin to feel something. As you mentioned, you felt the light inside. It starts like that. It's like your relaxation or your comfort will take you to a deeper state of mind. And as you get to that deeper state of mind, you're going to start to feel and see and experience your mind in a different way. Does that make sense? And I don't want to tell you too much because then you're going to expect. And if you expect, your mind's not going to be still and your mind's not in the present. So just follow the comfort, follow the relaxation, and you'll start to see and experience your mind in a different way. And as you relax and you keep your mind still, yes, it's strange, right? It's strange, but in a good way, that you feel that your body expands, you get bigger, some of us feel like we're shrinking or changing. These are all phenomenon that can happen when your mind is just still, and just keep going with that feeling. As long as it feels comforting, as long as it feels relaxing for you, then you're on the right track. With the various visions, situations we encountered during meditation, will this cause us to be insane? You mean seeing different images in your meditation? If you have visions or you have different pictures in meditation, the key thing is to focus on one image that helps you to stay calm and relaxed. So if you focus, let's say there's a difference between you're sitting and you have random images coming in, whether we thought about it or not. It's very natural because we absorb so many things throughout our life that when our mind starts to calm down or we take the time to meditate, sometimes all these things pop up, whether it's images we remember or we saw or we absorbed. Those are different kind of images. And those are images that are distracting from being still. In that case, I wouldn't say we'd go insane, we'd just be more distracted if we focus on those images. We would just feel more, instead of feeling more calm, we feel distracted, and we may feel tired even from the meditation because we're focusing on those different images. For example, I may think and have like a random image of something when I traveled to Portugal or something like that, and I have these different memories that I can remember. And if you go with those memories or you go with those images, it'll just keep connecting and changing and morphing into different images. So the best thing to do in that situation is to cut it. Be like a director. In this case, a lot of times when we meditate, we don't want to be the director. We just want to stay still and do nothing. That's the key. But in this case, you need to be the director. You need to say cut. You need to say stop. Meaning that if you have those random images that are distracting, open your eyes. That's the quickest and easiest way to get rid of it. And that's how you can cut those images that will make you distracted. Okay, and then close your eyes again. And if those images come again, which they may come, open your eyes again. And then when they go away, close your eyes again. And this time, instead of just doing nothing, try to use visualization, meaning you pick your image instead of letting your mind go freestyle. Pick an image that helps you to stay still, makes you feel happy, makes you feel neutral. That's why we recommend like the sun, the full moon, because they're kind of neutral objects that help you to, they don't have too many thoughts attached to it. And also, usually when we close our eyes, it's dark, right? So when we visualize something bright, or like the full moon, the sun, it helps to keep our attention. So that's why we use those images. So again, we focus on that image, which is a good image that won't help. It won't make you insane. It'll make you calm and make you still instead, because you're focusing on that one image rather than 10,000 images, 1,000,000 images. And as you focus on that one image that you created, it will help you to let go of everything bit by bit to eventually we'll stay with that one image. And then ideally, we need to also let go of that image and get to zero. So again, follow, hopefully that clears it up. So you wouldn't go insane. You'll just get distracted. From Vanessa. Okay, hello everyone. Hello Monk Daniel. I had a good meditation, helped with a deep personal calm and heavy exercises, tiredness, tiny flu. And just really peaceful inner state. I gave up on the hope of being proud I gave up on the hope of being proudly passing my exam, which I'm not ready for, and surrender to whatever will happen. Just trying my best while staying calm, conscious, and comfortable. Fear was becoming an engine somehow. Not sure it was good or not. Either way, it was just making me panic. So I thought of our conversation last week and just accepted what it is. I'll pass again if needed, as long as I feel comfortable on the various medical topics. Then I'm okay not to pass until I am. I am not 25 years old anymore, and the truth is that I can't focus that fast and memorize 3 years of medical data just because my ego decided to. Wow. Thank you for sharing, because I think a lot of people can relate to this. But whether it's passing a test or preparing for something or for anything that we want to achieve, always remember that we have the recipe for success already. Long Bu told us, the meditation masters told us, he said that if your mind is clear and at ease, you can achieve anything easily. So if we focus on, in this case, we're putting our mind in the future, expecting and panicking and having the fear, instead of keeping your mind clear and at ease. And if you keep your mind clear and at ease, it's going to help you study and prepare automatically. And it will, if you keep your mind clear and at ease and positive, when you go and take the test, because you've passed through all these things in the past with studying and going through school, and again, going back to the start, we absorb everything through our 5 senses. Our mind is very good, actually very good at recording and keeping information, but sometimes we can't access it or it gets lost within us. But the magical thing is, when your mind is clear and at ease, that knowledge that we've kept, it will come out. It will come out. It's because it's inside of you, but maybe you forgot how to connect to it. So that's why you may notice it when you sit and you meditate and you stay calm and you stay peaceful. All of a sudden you have this random thought come up. Why is that? Because you have all these thoughts and knowledge inside of you that's kind of waiting to come out. So if you keep your mind clear and at ease, and like you said, trying to just let go, don't expect too much, don't worry, you're going to be able to pass. You're going to be able to pass easy and almost amazingly, almost like a miracle, because your mind is clear. So continue to go with this feeling, stay with the clear and keep your mind at ease. And that's the best way to help you prepare for this test. And also, not only that, is that when you go and study, you're going to retain more information. You're going to retain it, whether you realize it or not, but you're going to be able to retain it easier now that your mind is less stressed, because your mind is open to receive everything now, rather than being closed with fear, closed with panic, closed with expectations, and putting all these unnecessary pressure on yourself for something that hasn't happened yet. So keep your mind present and keep your mind clear and at ease. If it doesn't feel clear and at ease, go meditate. Go meditate first, and then go study. And you'll go back to 25 again, mentally. Actually, you'll go back even better than that, because maybe at 25, your mind wasn't clear as bright as it is now. So we'll see. You'll be able to memorize those 3 years. I'm sure if the more your mind is clear, the more your mind is bright, you'll be able to memorize it. I had it for myself, like when I had to take a test for monks. I had to learn Thai, and in Thai, it's completely different than English, right? So I had to learn the new alphabet. I had to learn all the nuances, all the different definitions, all the different tones, all the different ways to not only speak, because I couldn't speak in the past, speak and also listen and also write in the span of, a year or so before I had to take the test. And of course, in the beginning, it was very difficult because I used the same method as I did as a student is, study, study, study. But as the first year I failed because I'd used that method, study and cram and just keep, trying to cram the information in and trying to, do the old method. Next year, I remind myself, why am I doing it this way? I need to be clear. I have to keep my mind positive. I need to keep my mind clear and at ease. I need to put meditation first. So that's what I did. I actually studied less, meditated more. And what ended happening was I took the test and I passed the second year after I adjusted by focusing on keeping my mind at ease, keeping my mind relaxed before I studied. And when I studied and I didn't feel comfortable, I would stop instead of continuing. In the past, I would continue until, my head was going to explode. In this case, if you feel like your head's going to explode, you feel like you can't accept anything more, stop and meditate. Or stop and go do something else, relax for a moment and relax. And then when you feel more relaxed, try to meditate and clear your mind first and then continue to study. Study less, but more profound. So just a tip. And thank you for sharing this. I'm sure many of us feel this way somewhere, whether it's for taking a test or preparing yourself for a job interview or for anything in the future. From Hazel, I felt very calm and refreshed after a busy workday. Thank you. Thank you for coming and taking the time to find that calm and relaxation within yourself, because every day is busy, but we shouldn't be too busy to look after yourself, too busy to look after your mind. Remind yourself that. From Ernessa, so it is not it is now more peaceful in my mind. I might fail in 13 days, but I am at peace with my understanding of the situation. Thank you. But don't think you're gonna fail. Just keep your mind positive first, and you may surprise yourself. There's a thing with another master of mine. She, the master nun, Kunyai, for our temple, she said that, the founder of our temple, she said that what you think, it will happen. So it kind of like you make that blueprint, you make that destiny manifest. So if you think I'm gonna fail, I'm not gonna do well, or something bad's gonna happen, and the more you think about it, the more chance it's gonna happen that way, because you're like setting yourself up for failure mentally. So rather than thinking that, think the other way. I can do it. I can do it, and I will pass. And if you don't believe yourself, no problem. At least go meditate and keep your mind neutral, keep your mind calm and at ease, and don't think about it. Don't think about the failing. Just think about keeping yourself relaxed, and then when you get to it, we'll see what happens. So right now, instead of thinking about failing, you can think about, I'm going to pass. I don't know how, but I'm going to pass. This happened with me with the test. Like I read the whole book like I'm supposed to, and even though I didn't read as much as I did in the past, magically all the things that I read, it came out on the test. There's like this test I had to take. It's funny. It's all written, right? It's not multiple choice. It's all written. So you have to write correctly to get full points. And let's say we have to read, 6 or 7 books, and you have 10 questions. It's like a 10-question test, but you have to write like a paragraph or so. And each question is, a lot, 10. And magically all 10 questions were what I just remembered, what I just read about. So even though I read less or didn't read that much as before, I like read the right thing and I remembered the right thing. So that can happen to you. Even though you don't memorize everything that you're supposed to in the past 3 years, there's a chance that the questions that come out will be direct to what you prepared for. So it can happen. Okay. We're out of time. From Charles Lester. What is Western education but training the mind of a 6-year-old to sit still and concentrate on things? A little confused with the question, but as from my understanding that you can help your 6-year-old or help a child to children actually meditate very well. And you can start meditating. I started meditating when I was 7, and I actually meditated better then than I do now. Maybe I couldn't sit as long as I do now. It's kind of funny, like as you grow older, like you want to develop this skill more than you did as a kid. As a kid, it's like, oh, I can meditate and go pretty deep, but I didn't see it as like some tool that I really needed to maintain. I kind of want to go play with my friends or do something else, even though, yeah, this made me feel happy, but it was so easy sometimes when something is so easy to do, you kind of think you can do it at any time. So you kind of put it off. So that's what happened. But kids, in the beginning, it may be difficult to keep them still to come and meditate. But if you gradually and be patient with them, they will meditate well, and they can sit actually very, very well. So don't think kids can't meditate. But the way you lead the meditation may be a little bit different. Anyway, we are out of time. I'm sorry. Today we kind of rambled a little bit, but hopefully it was a positive ramble. Got some ideas. And we'll see each other next Monday, and hopefully we'll also join in this Thursday as well. And please try to remember those 4 tips, right? The first one about waking up in the morning, meditating. Second one about continuing to be conscious and comfortable throughout the day by using the mantra, using the visualization. The third one, before going to sleep, trying to meditate. And the last one, using enduring speech and smiling. So thank you, everyone, and hope to see you next time.
Thank you so much to Mang Daniel for just a wonderful session today, and thank you for sharing all the tips and techniques. So hopefully we all can put into practice. And to wrap up the session, may I invite everyone pay respect to Mang Daniel by bowing 3 times. Bow, bow, and bow.
By the positivity that you have generated within you, by taking the time to meditate, to fill your mind with happiness, to get rid of all the negativity within you, may that positive energy that you've created within yourself help to attract all the positive things that you have done in the past, and may all that positive energy help to guide you, to protect you, to help you to overcome anything that is an obstacle, and continue to help you to stay happy, to stay healthy, and be able to, most importantly, to meditate easily and attain that inner happiness within you smoothly and every time.
Sadhu, and thank you so much for our wonderful blessings. And thank you everyone for joining the session and spending valuable time together. So looking forward to see you again on this coming Thursday. Bring more friends to join and sharing this video link to everyone so they can watch and having a great time for practice meditation. So last but not least, I would like to rejoice in all your merit. Take care. See you. Sadhu.